Welcome back to another one of our auction reviews. We're down near Poole in Dorset for SWVA's quarterly performance and classic auction, and we're going to pick out, as usual, about a dozen cars to have a closer look at and then see how they get on when they go under the hammer. And one I am keeping my eye on is this really nice Triumph Dolomite Sprint, and I like it because it's been used. It's been on European tours and stuff like that. But we're going to find a whole bunch of other to look at as well. So join us and see what we found. Who doesn't like a TVR? And this Chimaera is no different. This is the sort of less common model, I think. It's the 430. The Chimaera obviously came in as like a softer version of the Griffiths, more for a bit long distance touring, that kind of thing. This one has been really well looked after. It's a 1992, originally supplied through the local Nigel Mansell sports car dealership, apparently. It's been owned by the current owner for 25 years, but has been in storage for a little while. But they've invested in it and spent £3,000 getting it recommissioned, up and ready for sale. Guided at just £5,000 to £6,000. It's got to smash that, surely. We had, I think it was a Chimaera at the last auction here, and I'll put some notes on the screen if I remember. And I think that went for £6,000, and that had literally just been pulled out of a barn. So yeah, okay, it's got the slightly smaller engine, but hey, I'm sure this one is going to smash that. But let's find out.
950, 5950, sold tickets going on at 5950, 6050, 76150, 6150. You all woke up now, 6150, 6150. I know we're dropping off up here, 6150, 6150. I think most of the crowd is below 6250, 6250, 6250, 6250. It's away now, 6250. It's selling away 6350, 6350, 6350. We're away now, 6350 there for the first, 6350 there for the second. The hammer is up. 6450, leg breaker there, 6450, 6450, 6450, 6450 there for the first, 6450 there for the second. Hammer's up. 6450.
I know this one's a bit hemmed in, but unfortunately that's the price you pay for coming to a really busy auction. I will do some nice B-roll so you can get a better look at it. I'm sure you already know this is an Opel Manta. It dates from 1988. Has been lightly restored at some point. Some of the paint does look like it needs a little bit of TLC. I think it probably would come up with a mop and a polish. This back in 1988, interestingly, was £8,400. Doesn't seem a lot in today's terms, does it? But I'm sure it was back then. MOT wise, it's got it through to May 26, so again it's another tax, insure and off you go. Estimate wise, they're looking for £10,000 to £12,000. Yeah, Mantas are good news at the moment. I think it'll do that. I think it will maybe slightly tempered by the paint needing a bit of TLC, but yeah, otherwise really nice car.
5454. 54. Sold tickets on at £5,400. We're in the market. This is at £5,400. The guy wants to sell it, and he's told me to sell at £5,400. 55 online, 55 online, 56 in the hall, 56 in the hall. This is cheap. 57 online, 57 online, 58 in the hall, 58 in the hall, 59 online, 6 hours of back in the hall, 6 hours of back, 61 online, 61 online, 61 online. This is stinking cheap at 61 online. You sure? At 61 online. It's away now at 61 online. It's selling away at 61 online. It's going away at 61 online there for the first. 61 online there for the second. Hands up. 61 online.
Now, if this one doesn't smash its estimate, something's gone wrong with the world. You probably know Austin Healey Frogeye Sprite, so the pre-runner to the MG Midget that I've got myself. And this one looks particularly tidy. It was rebuilt back in around 2014. Current owners had it since 2016, and they paid £16,000 for it. Interesting, only got 3 former keepers, which is pretty good. What's not to like about it, and the bit that's really to like about it, is this. Loads of these Frogeye Sprites have had the bonnet replaced with a fiberglass replacement. This one is original and steel, which is quite a rarity. It's been converted to run on unleaded petrol. You know, it's ready to go. What a great little car. But the estimate, just £5,000 to £6,000. Now, I know these have softened a little bit, but it's got to do a lot more than that, surely. Let's see if I'm right or wrong.
These buy something 50 online, £6,000 in the hall. Sold ticket goes on 6250 online, 65 in the hall, 65, 750 online, £7,000 in the hall, £7,000, 250 online, 7250, 75 in the hall, 75, 7750 online, 7750, 7850 outside, 7850, 7950. 8,050 outside, 8,150 online, and 8,150, 8,150 with a bit online, and 8,150 there with a bus, and 8,150, 8,250 fresh bidder, and 8,250, 8,350 online, and 8,350, 8,350, 8,350 with a bit online, 8,350, 8,450, 8,450, 8,550, 8,550, 8,550 with a bit online, and 8,550, 8,650, 8,650, 8,750. 8,750, 8,750, the bid's online at 8,750, at £8,750 there for the bus, at 8,750 online there for the second, the hammer is up, £8,750.
Now, how many of you recognise this? These were a rare beast back in the day, and even rarer today. I don't think there was many of them actually sold from memory, and it screams 1970s. It is a Chrysler 2-litre Automatique, not automatic, Automatique. This one is from 1978, and this is the era when Chrysler owned basically the Roots Group, which is your Hillman, your Singer, and all those kind of things. It's been parked up a little while, I think. Has been owned 15 years. It's showing 59,000 miles, quite possibly correct. But it's so 70s, isn't it, with this sort of bronze on the outside and brown on the inside. It does require a bit of work, requires a mechanical recommission, and the paint, there are some areas that you might well want to improve. Estimate-wise, it's in at £1,500 to £2,500, which to me doesn't seem an awful lot of money for a rare car. But of course, let's see how it got on.
At £1,300, I'll take 50s then, at £1,300. At £1,300, 50 online, 1350, 1350, 1350 bids online at 1350. Well, that's the bid. At 1350, 1350, 1350. For the Chrysler at 1350, 1350, £1,400 online. At £1,400, at £1,400. Well, that's the bid. Then at £1,400, and you have bots on 14. Well, that's the bid. That's what we're going to hold. About £1,400. The bid, 14.
And now, as ever, for something completely different. How about this for a beautiful bit of American Americana? This is 1958 Ford Fairlane 300, and it presents really nicely. Interior is glorious, and outside, this paint, it just looks impeccable, really. The metallic blue, oh, it's just really, really nice. This one was imported from the US in 2013. Only had 4 owners since it's come to the UK. Actually, interestingly, comes with some US history, which is, you know, quite often these things pop out of a container with no trail behind them, but this one has. 4.8 litre engine, so you're going to pass everything apart from a petrol station. But I think just a really, really pretty car. Guided 15 to 17. I'll have to take the word for it. I don't know the value of these very well, so let's see what happened when it went under the hammer.
On my commission at £10,000, 10,500, 10,500, 10,500, £11,000, 11,000, 11,500, 11,500, a beautiful car here, 11,500, 11,500, 12,000, 12,000, 12,000, that's the offer at 12,000, 12,000, there we are at 12,000, that's the bid at 12,000, and it's the offer at 12,000.
There's hot hatches, and then there are what we call warm hatches. This Nova SR obviously sat below the GTE in the range. Now this is a really, really nice car. It's a local car, originally sold in Bournemouth, which is just down the coastline from here, and it's only had 2 former keepers. It's in really, really nice condition. The paintwork looks great. I can't really pick much fault with it. The decal across the back, the SR decal, that probably could do a replacement. It's pulled just on the join. It's even got the original tape deck in it. How cool is that? Now, it comes with a great history file. You see there's some details of some of the history on the windscreen there as well. It has done 130,000 miles, but there is history for all of that. I think it's really great. MOT through to May 26, so it's ready to go. Insure it, tax it, and off you go. Estimate that 5 to 7,000. I think it's going to do that really easily, but let's see what the bidders paid for it.
This one I'm going to open it straight up to £6,500. 6.5, £500 bids, please. 6.5, £7,000, thank you. £7,000, £7,000, 7.5, 7.5, £8,000, £8,000, £8,000, 8.5, 8.5, £9,000. Sold tickets on at £9,000, all online at £9,000. We're away now at £9,000. I'll take a 250 if you're quick at £9,000. It's away at £9,000. Selling away 9.5. Okay, I'll go 9.5, 9,750, 9,750, 9,750. 9,750, it's away now, 9,750, then in for the first, 9,750, then for the second, obviously big wins, 750.
Back before hot hatches came along, if you wanted a performance family car, this is what you bought. This is a 1979 Triumph Dolomite Sprint, and I think this is a great cracking little car. It's been in the same ownership for 14 years and it's been used and loved. It's been taken across Europe on some of those long tours. It had a sort of pretty comprehensive resto back in 2008, so you shouldn't have too many major worries with it. Typical 1970s, you've got brown interior, brown exterior, wood cappings on the door. I think, you know, there's not much not to love on this one. Estimate £7,000 to £8,000. Yeah, I think it'll do it. It might just drift up to the bottom end of that, but it's a nice car, so let's see how it got on when it went under the hammer.
8.3, we're selling at 8.3, it's online at 8.3, 8.550, 8.550, 8.550, I'll take a hundreds at 8.550, 8.8 online there, I'll take a hundreds now at 8.8, 8.9, off to my left at 8.9, 8.9, £9,000, £9,000. 9.1 on the telephone, comes in at 9.1, 9.2 online, 9.2, 9.2, 9.2, 9.3 on the telephone at 9.3, 9.4, 9.4, 9.4, 9.4, 9.5 on the telephone at £9,500, 9.6 online, 9.6, 9.6 is online at £9,600, 9.7, 9.7, 9.7, 9.8 online, 9.8, 9.8, 9.8, 9.9 on the telephone at £9,900. At 9.9 we're selling them. At 9 down on the phone there for the first. At 9.9 on the telephone then for the second. The hammer's up. 9.9 on the telephone.
If there was a category for cars I'm in danger of going home with, this would definitely fall in it. It is 1983 VW Golf GL, as you can see, cabriolet. This one's done 72,000 miles, or should I say showing 72,000 miles. It's jade green apparently the colour, and it's been owned for the last 5 years by the current owner. The only downside on this one is it was a category C back in the year 2000, so that's some 25 years ago. It's now obviously MOT exempt. The last time it had an MOT was back in 21. It has been off the road a few times since the millennium, I think particularly between 2006 2013. It seems to have quite a few items on the MOT failures, but not anything that was sort of horribly frightening. But it's the guide, 1,000 to 1,500. Well, you're just going to burgle it for that kind of money, and frankly, I couldn't give a monkey's if it was Cat C, Cat D, or Cat D, to be honest with you. What a cheap little bit of fun car, MOT and tax exempt, off you go, cheap and cheerful. Let's see what it actually got when it went under the hammer though.
Cabriolet at 1,200 back, at 12.50 online, 12.50 online, 12.50, shakes his head at 12.50. I'll tell you what, this is the cheapest Mark 1 Gold 5 Sync for a long, long time. At 1,250 back, at 1,250 back, that's the offer at 12.50, 13 in the hall, 1,300 back, 1,300 back. At 1,350 online, 1,350 online, 14. At 1,350, 1,350, you will regret it. At 1,350, 1,350, 1,350, 1,400 back, 1,400 back, 1400 pound, 1400 pound, well that's the offer at 1400 pound. We're very close 50, 1450, I'm going to sell it 1450, we'll sort it out later at 1450. I'll tell you what, cheapest car here today at 1450. It's away now, 1450 there for the first, 1450 there for the second. Bit manual, bit free, 1450.
Do you remember a time when these were absolutely no money? Yeah, so do I. I remember one being done on Wheeler Dealers, I think for less than £5,000. This one is really, really nice. 1993 BMW 840 Ci, so it's got the 4.4 litre engine, and this one presents really nice. It's only done 48,750 miles, and that is genuine. The leather interior looks really fresh and nice. The paint looks glorious. It is a really pretty car. Slightly interesting history. This was originally from Hong Kong and was imported to the UK in 2017. It's got MOT to May 26, so yeah, tax, insure it, off you go. Guided 18 to 20,000. I know it's got low miles. Have they got to that money yet? I might be proved wrong. I think it might struggle, but hey, let's see what happened when it went to auction.
Is there a 12,000 man, 12,000 man, 12,500, 12,500, 12,500, 13,000 man, 13,000 man, 13,500, 13,500, 14,000, 14,000, 14,000, any advance of 14,000 pound. Well, that's going to be the bid, 14,000 pound.
Now, regular viewers will know we have Kit Car Corner, and this time is no exception. And if you're a new viewer to us, please do give that subscribe button a tickle for us. Now, some of you may recognise this. Obviously, it looks very much like a World War II Willys Jeep, but this is actually a Jago Geep, and Jeep with a G. These were a popular kit car back in the 70s and 80s, and all fiberglass with a steel chassis underneath. This one, I believe, was based on a Mark I Escort. It has got a Mark II Escort dash, I believe. But what a fun little thing for not a lot of money. You're not going to have any body rot to worry about, are you? Fiberglass, it looks like a gel coat finish. Could do a polish up. The bonnet itself doesn't look too great. The seats are a little bit tired, but hey, you can pick them up for not a lot of money, and that would smarten it up no end. Estimate wise, it's up for £1,500 to £2,500. I think it'll do that. The worry for me with these older kit cars is what I said to you about what it's based on. The Mark I Escort bits is what a lot of people are after nowadays. And these cars gain value just for people wanting those bits. So hopefully there won't be the case with this one. And let's see what it got.
£2,000 online, at £2,000, at £2,000, 2-1 in the hole, 2-1 in the hole there, £2,100, well that's the bid, 2-1, at 2-1, it's in the hole at £2,100, take 50s now, 2-1, at 2-1, at 2-1, it's in the hole at 2-1 there, for the first, at 2-150 online, 2-150, do you want 22 in the hole, 2-2 in the hole, at £2,200, at 2-2, is against you online at 2-2, 2-2, 2-250, 2-250, 2-250, 2-3, do you want 2-3 in the hole at 2-3, 2-3, 2-3 in the hole at £2,300, that's the bit of 2-3 in the hole there for the first, 50 online there for the first, 2-4 in the hole there for the first, 2-4 in the hole there, 2-450 there for the first, 2-450, 2-5 there for the first, 2-5 there, 2-550 there for the first, 2-550, 2-6 there for the first, 2-6 there, 50 there for the first, 2-650 there, 2-7 there for the first, 2-7 there for the second, what's up, 2-7 in the hole, gonna see him.
Now, don't skip over this one thinking it's just another old Escort. This is very much not the case. If you fancy a Ford Escort Cosworth, but you've only got 15% of the budget, how about this? This is a 1996 Ford Escort RS2000 4x4. So you've got the 2-litre engine, 4-wheel drive. Okay, you haven't got a turbo, but hey, I think this is a really cracking car and one would be a good investment. It's in really nice condition. It's done 91,000 miles, and you're not going to see too many. There are apparently only 350 of these made for road use. This one's really tidy. There's a little bit of wear on the bolsters. That could probably do with the foam being sorted out, but all round it is a really tidy car. Even got MOT up to June 2026, so all you got to do is tax, insure it, and you're away. guide-wise, just £5,000 to £6,000. So I think this is an awful lot of money. Sorry, try the other way, shall we? I think this is not a lot of money for what is actually an awful lot of car. But as ever, the bidders decide what it's worth.
5,000 man, 5,250 on my commission, 5,250, 5,250, 5,5 online, 5,5, 5,750 online, 5,750, 6,000 man, 6,000 man, 6,250, 6,5 on my commission. I'll get rid of that then. At 6,5 is on my commission, 6,5. I'll take 100s now. 6,5, 6,750, 6,750. My commission's out at 6,750, 6,850, 6,850, 6,950, 6,950. Selling away at 6,950 there for the verse. 6,9, 7,050 there for the verse. 7,1 there, 50 there for the verse. 7,150 there for the second. 7,250 there for the verse. 7,350 there for the verse. 7,350 there for the second. Hammers up. 7,350.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that selection of cars we came up with, and but I'm really pleased to be able to be joined by Owen, who you saw as auctioneer there, and there's also the classic car expert for SWVA. As I often say, how was it for you?
It was good. It puts early signs of positive, very similar to last time. I think it was a little bit more hard work today, but I think that's just, spring is always the best sale of the year. So we've come to summertime now, and things just do start to slow down as the year goes on. So, it's still pretty good. We're yet to see sort of final total. There's still bits and bobs, bubbling away beneath the surface. But yeah, overall, I would say relatively positive.
And there was, you say it was sort of a bit hard work, but things like this, and again, it comes back to what we keep saying is the really nice cars that you're going to struggle to find another one are the ones that are going to do well. And this, beautiful car here, local car, the paint's glorious, the interior's glorious, these are the things that are doing well at the moment, aren't they?
I mean, when I say hard work, I think the hard work comes from the mid-century sort of 60s stuff, whereas this sort of stuff and the BMWs, which I'm sure we'll touch on in just a moment's time, rocketed away. I can't remember the exact final total on this, but
I think it was 9,900.
9,900.
Yeah.
So it's beat its estimate by £3,900, top end of its estimate. So, this is the sort of stuff that this is where the market has moved to. This generation of car is found its generation of people now, I think.
And one that's maybe a little bit behind generation-wise, that we've just mentioned off camera, was that Dolomite Sprint, which brown is very 70s, but maybe not very 2020s.
I think to the right person, it's worth the right sort of money. And I think that age of car where it's late 70s, early 80s, it's obviously stopped making them in the early 80s, I think that is still alive, just about. There's people out there that are, young enough to be able to drive them and enjoy them still. Whereas I think what we're seeing with the mid-century stuff is it's a dying market for them, because the people who want them wouldn't be able to use them, and they would go to waste. So I think that's what it is. But yeah, that was a nice buck to the trend. Obviously, brown is.
Well, and the other thing I'd say with that is that's a car you can use quite happily in modern traffic, modern motorways with no problem
Yeah, absolutely.
at all.
I think that's a part of a factor in all this as well. Is this Nova, it would be pretty similar to most things on a modern road. Dolomite Sprint, pretty much there as well. That's got over 100 horsepower, so it would be perfectly fine on modern A roads and B roads. So I think that's something to take into account with where the market is going, is drivability and usability.
And the other one that you did loosely touch on, which were your stunners of the day, were the BMW Alpinas.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The Estate, which is a lovely looking car. 23-something thousand.
Yes, 23. I think it was made just over 23,000 or 23 bang on. But yeah, I mean, even I was astounded by that. I thought the guide on it was actually on the higher end of where it was. I don't actually think there's been another one with similar mileage that's gone for that sort of money in auction.
And the other one, we've got a little bit of background noise, as obviously the cars are going off to the new owners. Time for a quick plug for your next one?
Yeah, well, next sale is the end of October. It'll be our autumn classic and performance auction. So that's on the 30th of October. We'll start taking entries in the middle of August. We've already got quite a few stacked up for that already. I think we've got about 20 cars booked in to come. So again, should be another nice big one just to round off the end of the year.
And the other thing with that auction, just bear in mind, I believe with this one, you shut the book on this a little while ago because I have commented it's quite packed in.
The issue we've had recently is we've obviously moved site. We've got limited space of what we can take. So, 100 is really our limit. So my advice to anybody that's looking to put in a car in with us is consign early. You'll then take the benefits of early advertising for an extended period, and you won't miss the deadline, which is very important. So consign early, get in touch in the middle of August, and we'll get it in nice early and get it in that catalogue.
Thank you as ever, Owen, and hopefully you guys at home have enjoyed that. Sorry about the little bit of orchestra we got going on in the background, but it's a live auction, so these things happen. So if you have enjoyed it, please consider giving that subscribe button a tickle even for us, and we'll catch you next time. And as ever, I'm really pleased to be joined. Shall we try that again, dickhead? 5 to 6. And another YouTuber's walking in front of your camera. God.